From the moment I understood the weakness of my flesh, it disgusted me. I craved the strength and certainty of steel. I aspired.
Oh, hey, what's going on?
We're trying to do a video in here.
Oh, sorry guys, minor server outage. We got a critical security update to Windows 3.1000. It'll be back up in a jiff.
In the far-off future, there is only tech support. My name is Boss SAWSS.
And I'm Roland Coons, and together, we are the two-headed hero.
In Warhammer 40,000 Mechanicus, players take control of the Adeptus Mechanicus, an elite squad of fanatical IT professionals that explores the galaxy. At the game's start, we see the Mechanicus land smack dab in the orbit of the mother of all server farms, a planet called Silva Tenebris. Assuming the role of head of IT, Dominus Faustinius. Oh wow.
He's got some aftermarket part.
Players quickly find out that this behemoth of a botnet entombs a horde of bugs, malware, and the toughest bots this side of Bonsai Buddy, the Necrons. A data breach of this size and intensity could catastrophically affect the entire galaxy. So, there's only one thing to do. Send out a team of your best religious tech weirdos, tech priests, in an effort to hard reset the planet. In all seriousness, Warhammer 40,000 Mechanicus is a squad-based tactics game set within the deep lore of Games Workshop's popular board game license. Everything about how Mechanicus looks and sounds oozes that particular grimdark brand of Warhammer 40k atmosphere. While it shares some surface similarities with contemporary turn-based titles such as XCOM, dipping a toe into the strange and satirical world of Mechanicus has a feeling all its own. Released on November 15th, 2018, Warhammer 40,000 Mechanicus was created by French developer Bulwark Studios and published by Kaseto Games. Mechanicus was developed as sort of a last-ditch effort to keep the studio afloat, an interesting story all on its own that is outlined in a superb Rock Paper Shotgun interview. The link is in the description.
Squad-based tactical strategy RPGs can be divided into a couple of main groups. The first includes such series as XCOM, Jagged Alliance, and Silent Storm, games about using fog of war and cover systems to your advantage to find and outflank your enemy before they do the same to you. The second includes the Tactics series, Disgaea, and Fire Emblem, and is more about chess-like positioning and hundreds of incremental stat increases. Warhammer Mechanicus has mild elements of cover, positioning, and leveling, but the meat of its tactics fall into a third category, resource management. In it, various methods are employed by the player to build up cognition, these little cogs, which can in turn be used to fuel anything else the player might like to do. Extra movement, summoning troops, and even basic attacks.
Crisp motion graphics, suitably detailed models, stylish effects, and a large injection of character goes far to bring Silva Tenebris to life. Tech priests are the stars of the show, being highly customizable and upgradable to the point where they bristle with weapons and relics.
An aside, I must admit a weakness for visible character customization, especially when it involves cybernetic limbs. So fucking cool.
The environments use a limited tile set and can come across as a bit dark and barren, but this suits the theme of a killer robot tech tomb quite well. My one complaint is the lack of a free camera. You can only rotate the perspective in 90-degree increments. I'd love to be able to watch Servitors bash a Necron trooper from a more up-close and personal view. Well, I'm gonna whomp him one anyway.
Give it a go.
Oh no. Regarding recent network slowdowns, I've contacted tech support. Their automated line mentioned that the holy altar must be cleansed and an offering of incense must be placed. Are we using a new contractor? Never mind, I think I see him. Sound design in Mechanicus is simply stellar. I can't get enough of the soundtrack's utterly awesome ear candy. Weird Gothic circus with robots. Much attention was placed on the electric blasts of plasma rifles, the thudding footsteps of your steel-shod soldiers, and even the user interface controls. The low-end growls of the Machine Man voices are bone-chilling. And I mean both the bass-filled rattles of the Adeptus Mechanicus, as well as the resonant rasps of the Necrons.
I wake with the turning of aeons. Stars yet burn, life yet blossoms. Is it truly time?
While actual voice acting is scarce, several of the important villains have lines. Most of your subordinates tend to talk in their own brand of gibberish, which feels fairly fitting for these Latin-spewing tech heads. What's more, each of the advisors has their own personalities and proclivities. Pursuing their ends provide your cyborgs with different equipment, unit, and weaponry rewards.
That guy...
So this guy says get it. Also, who the hell's this?
I know, he looks like a hermit crab, kinda. Mechanicus actively encourages you to treat your faceless units as cannon fodder, testing enemy defenses and blocking their fire for your more useful, named squad members. This reintroduces some of the line of sight and positioning lost by the simpler, more open maps. Unit loss is non-trivial, but never so crushing as to require a reload.
Oh no! Oh.
Never stood a chance.
No, not at all.
All units are restored to health at mission's end for the cost of a few data bucks, or whatever currency these space geeks trade in.
Blackstone. Blackstone.
Yeah, right. Blackstone. Blackstone.
Blacker than the blackest stone. Times 1,000.
It's blue, though. Isn't it blue? Am I wrong? Is it blue?
It's green.
It's green?
I mean, the Blackstone is green, yeah. The game still has much of the trappings of a board game translation. Your IT Crowd's tomb raids have the analogs of cards to play and coins to flip at every turn. XCOM, this ain't. Unit positioning and the smart deployment of expendable units will win the day here, as will the frugal use of the many unlockable skills and abilities at the disposal of your robo-preachers.
Tactical encounters are strung together as single dungeon missions, which are themselves strung together by an overarching campaign. Each dungeon is a delicious variety pack of battles, choose-your-own-adventure-style decision points, and charming conversations between your weird, cybernetic IT priest pals. Resources funnel from encounter to mission to campaign in a compelling way, and are used to unlock various abilities, troops, and robot bits, which you can then bolt onto your Gothic Doom nerds. Each campaign culminates in a big old boss battle once your Techno-Skellington Wakey meter fully fills, and your ending will change depending on which Astropope's missions you focus. This, combined with the fact that you can't unlock everything in one run-through, adds a good bit of replayability to a game that would be worth it even as a single campaign. The only thing I might add to Mechanicus is a larger budget. I appreciate the myriad ways the dev team worked intelligently to accomplish a lot with relatively little, focusing on an interesting niche of a popular universe, avoiding well-tread tropes in favor of unique, divergent design, and smartly planning out limited art assets to give them the most impact. I'd just like to see what happens when this team gets the resources of a Vermintide or a Total War.
Warhammer 40,000 Mechanicus is the best strategy game that you aren't playing. The shorter pickup style nature of the missions means that gamers on a time crunch can still feel like they accomplished something. Mechanicus is probably one of the best adaptations of the Warhammer 40k license that I've ever personally played. Hell, it's one of the best adaptations of a licensed game I've played, period. If you have any interest in turn-based strategy, or any interest in the Warhammer 40k universe, Mechanicus is worth your time. Reply, forward, new data security practices. Just a reminder that we are no longer referring to software issues as bugs.
Cleanse them with sacred fire!
For the Emperor.
Prometheum-based tech support.